Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Mohammad Faizan and today in this video I will be showing you that how to create a new user in SAP system and how to authorize the user to execute different transaction code. So I'll just log into the system using my existing account. To create the new user, the transaction code is SU01. Here the user that you want to create, you can just name it. Let's say I want to create the user test123. So here you can see there's a create button, and along with that there are a couple of other buttons that you can see. This change button is used to change any of the existing user, or if you want to display the user you can use this button, and after that delete. If you want to copy an existing user you can use this button. If you want to lock any user you can lock it. You can change the password as well. So this user that does not exist in our system test123, I'm just going to create it and I'll click the create button. Here you can see there are different fields which you can fill according to the need. But I would like to mention that the last name field is mandatory. So I'll just mention the name test, and also you need to define the company if it is not defined before. So this is also mandatory. After that you go to log on data, and there are different user types that we'll be talking in some of the other video in details. But for now you have to select the dialog type and then enter the password. Okay, so we have to add the password with the 8 characters. Okay, the password is set, and here you can see the SNC button. Here SNC name, this is the name that is used for the single sign-on. And here you can see the default tab. In default tab you can maintain different decimal notation, log on language, time format, any output device. For example, if you want to add a printer, but these fields can be changed later on. Here you can also add the time zone for the user, and this system zone. After that, parameters. If you want to assign any parameters you can assign it here. Roles. Here these two tabs are very important, this profiles and roles. Here you have to add the role. Role means this role will contain the transaction codes that the user will be able to execute. If we will not mention any role, so it means the user will not be able to execute any transaction code. So we'll just see in this video in details that how it works. So for now I'm just not going to assign anything. Similarly, profile, there are already predefined profiles. You can also assign, if you don't want to assign the role, you can also assign the predefined profiles to the existing user. Here it's a tab for group if you want to maintain the user groups, and personalization, any licensed data. So I'll just discussing here the important or the most frequently used tabs. So this information that I have added for this user is sufficient for now. I'll just save this user. So now you can see this user is created in the system. You can display it. So I will just log on with the same user. I'll go here. Test 1 2 3 4 1 2 3. This is the user that I have created. So when you log on first time with the user, so it asks you to change the password. So I'll just add a new password for this user. Okay, so I'm now logged in with the new user that I have created. Here you can also see the username. This is test123. Now if I try to execute any transaction code, it will not work. Let's say SU01, you are not authorized to use the transaction. I mean any transaction code, you just try and you will not be able to execute the transaction code. The reason is because we have not yet authorized this user to execute any of the transaction code. So what we will do now, we will create a role and we will assign the role to this user so that this user will be able to execute the transactions. So now I am going to create a role. I am back to the user using which I have created this new user. So now to create a role, the transaction is pfcg, and I create a role. Let's say I just name it z underscore test 123, or you can just write any name you like. But this length is limited to the 30 characters. So make sure when you are creating a role, then the role name should not exceed 30 characters. So I'll create single role, and here in the menu, yes, save it. Here in the menu, you can define the transactions code that you want the user to be able to run. So I'll click on the transaction. I want to authorize the user to execute the transaction code SU01 PFCG and let's say SM37. So these are the transaction codes that I want this user to execute. I'll just assign this transaction code and I'll go to the authorizations tab. I will click change authorization data, yes, to save it. Okay, and in the plan version I'll just not define anything. I'll just click save, and from here you can generate the profile, because for any newly created role you have to generate the profile. So I'll just click generate. This is the profile name that will be generated. I'll click OK, and now you can see the role z underscore test 123 is created. So this role is created, and this role is not yet assigned to any user. So I'm going to assign this role to the user that I created before, test123. This is the user that I created, and I will click on user comparison and I'll press yes and close it. So now you can see this role is assigned to user test123. This role is assigned, and now I will go here. The role is assigned to the user, and now I'll execute the transactions SU01. Now you can see this user test123 is able to execute the transaction SU01. Similarly, the other transaction code that I have assigned is SM37. So you can see this user is able to execute this transaction code, as well as I have assigned PFCG, and now you can see this user is able to run this transaction code as well. And now if you go and let's say you execute SM36, this is the transaction code that we have not yet assigned to this user. So I'll just execute it, and you can see here you are not authorized to use transaction SM36. So similarly, if you execute any other transaction code, for example ST22, you will not be able to execute because this user does not have any other transaction code other than those we have assigned. So now I'm going back to the user which I am using to create new role and new user. So I'll go back here, and here I'll go to SU01 again. This is the user that I created, and now I'll click on change, and here in the profiles there is a profile called SAP all. SAP, let's go. This profile contains a lot of transaction codes. I mean, if you assign it, almost all of the transaction codes will be covered under this profile. So this is a most critical profile in the system. So make sure and be careful when you are assigning this profile to any user. This user will be able to run any critical transactions. So this profile that you can see here, this T-T2130610. So this is the one that was created when we generated this role. So now I have assigned the SAP all profile to this user test123, and I will click on the save button, and I'll go back to the user test123 that I have created. Now here you can see this user is able to run the different transactions code. And now let's say if I execute SM36, any transaction code that you try, this user will be able to execute, even though I'll just the functional transactions. Let's say MM01, this user is also able to execute this transaction code. So this is how you can create a new user, and you can authorize it to execute different transactions. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please give your feedback, and if you want us to create any other video on the topic that you like, so let us know in the comment section, so we'll create it. Once again, thank you. Bye bye.